I'd be surprised if they didn't take out the Beastmaster in some way, shape, or form against Mad, who played it extraordinarily well in the games that he's played it so far. He had a pretty good Spirit Breaker game earlier, which I was surprised by Offlane Spirit Breaker working out the way that it did for them. But I believe we are into it now. We've jumped into the game at the very least, and we'll see what these bands how it shakes up for now. But should be a pretty good game, I would say. I'm looking forward.
This is probably my favorite matchup of the day that we see now. Also not a coincidence that it's the winner's bracket final, probably for that reason. But I was hoping this was the matchup we would get to see, because again, I think they have the best chance. And if they would have lost against Blinkpool, we might have not even got to see this matchup at all.
Yep.
So, I'm glad we at least get to see this one time, this best of 3, because this, to me, is very interesting from a drafting perspective. What Wind and Rain are going to do. They had 30 minutes break, so they had a little bit of time to think about what they're doing, and obviously OG watched their games. So
yeah.
They had a lot of time to think about what they're doing, and they're banning Morphling first phase.
First pick is going for OG.
Yes.
They ban Morphling, they ban Wyvern. I guess the last question is there going to be a Magnus ban?
I think that you could think about first phasing it as well for OG if they want.
Yeah, that's true.
Magnus?
If you want to deny it.
I guess I would just argue that it is maybe safer to get it out of there rather than change up your playstyle. It's like what we were talking about earlier. If you haven't lost any games yet, or you're instantly going to be like, yeah, their strategies are better. Let's switch over to those when you haven't practiced them much yet.
Yeah.
But it does fit well with Ember, too, if they want to do that. So that's something else.
It does.
I feel like they would not get them
well.
together. I think if they first pick Mag, Wind and Rain will take him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's going.
So
We'll see. What do you think is a better ban? Is it Beast or is it Ember? Oh, Mag banned. So
Okay.
now that one is out of the window.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, Anna played such a good Ember Spirit, but Beastmasters also looked amazing.
And we also saw Thompson play Ember.
Exactly.
I think he did not play it on Anna's level. He still played it well.
Yeah, but then Anna played the PL and destroyed.
Yes.
So it's like pick
I mean,
your poison.
they're doing it for a reason, right?
Exactly.
Anna is the better Ember. I think that's fair to say without any disrespect to Thompson. It's one of Anna's absolute best, and he's played competitive Dota for years. So he is really, really strong on that hero, but just the fact that they have this flexibility makes it a more appealing pick for them than other teams where you have one player on the hero.
Yeah.
So it gives them options. I think that's what Wind and Rain are debating right here. Wait, time to pick your poison. They actually ban out Naga, so maybe this is because in their last matchup, OG banned it against them, and they know that OG understand how contested a pick this is in this series. Not what I was expecting, really. So maybe this is like a setup where they want to let OG take Ember or Beast, and then they take the other 1+1.
I think if you're OG, I think Beastmaster, but yeah. I think it's just so hard. Like the vision that you get, the initiation. I just think Beastmaster's in a really good spot right now. And Ember's good, yes, but they have ways to deal with it potentially if they can draft around it.
I don't think it's safe to open right off the bat. It's just a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Because it means that like there's a lot of exploits to Ember. Like if you draft a lineup that has a good mid matchup, then you force the Ember in the safe lane, and he doesn't do well against a decent handful of heroes, I think. Like he does okay sometimes, but he's definitely punishable.
For me, this feels like there's a lot of different possibilities. You can take the Ember, but also Mirana and Witch Doctor. The ones. I don't know if you need to go Mirana now. But Stalker, sort of.
So the funny thing about this matchup is Witch Doctor used to be a counterpick to Beastmaster back when the hero worked differently. With the old Wild Axes and when you were generally focusing on the summons in the lane, when you were maxing out the Boar first. Because obviously you could just cask the Boar to the Hawk to the Beastmaster and it was really strong. But now it's actually a counterpick to Beastmaster because of the heal. Because Beastmaster's dominance in lane now is based on consistent harassment, and Witch Doctor, funnily enough, counters that as well. So, this seems to have taken Warlock's place a bit, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree.
That is a fast PL. This is going to be a Snap Ember, I think. I don't see any reason why OG wouldn't do this.
It's interesting they go for the PL here. I guess they just think it's really strong. Also, OG could have picked it in this with the second pick or would have gotten banned, so they must really want this Phantom Lancer.
It feels like a progression of what PL is in the meta right now, in that he's banned a lot in the second phase, it seems like, by a lot of teams. So that means you just got to move it up. If he's consistently banned second phase, you got to pick him in first phase.
I mean, he seems really strong right now, I think. But they do pick up the Ember Spirit like you thought they were going to, Cinder, pretty much immediately right after that.
I feel like they were probably going to pick Ember no matter what anyway.
Yeah,
maybe
true.
Here. They're kind of, I guess, Ember and PL kind of on the same ban and pick area.
10 seconds
I guess they feel like it's not a big enough issue, the Ember versus PL matchup, that they're willing to take it.
It's better against Beast because he has such high base armor. So the axes just deal less damage. That's one good benefit.
There's still a lot of options to pair with the Beastmaster now as well on the side of OG. Got the Wind Ranger, obviously. Skywrath Mage is a possibility. I think I like Wind Ranger more than
Yeah.
Skywrath because Doppelganger stuff. But then at the same time, if you can force out a Doppelganger, like that silence on the PL can just blow him up. The roar on top of it later in the game.
So what I hope Wind and Rain don't do in this game is pick Mirana. I think that would be a big mistake. Ember is a really great matchup. Or Mirana is a really great matchup for Ember. I feel like it makes the hero more appealing. Your job now is to make the Ember pick as little appealing as possible. I think a hero like, again, Quaswex Invoker, I would love to see out of Bryle, because I know he plays the hero. And it could be an interesting choice, both against the Beastmaster and Ember, both very mana-dependent heroes. You purge Flame Guard. You kind of also take a hero away from OG if you pick it at the right time. I'm not saying they should pick it now, but it's a hero to look out for, at least, for this draft. It obviously has some pitfalls with bad matchups in mid, so I think you pick it last, since Ember can go safe lane.
Yeah.
You can just get dumpstered by... Invoker loses so many matchups. But Ember, he doesn't really lose that hard. If at all, actually.
Speaking of the mid matchups, too, the Lena ban, I think, was really important for OG. It also makes a lot of sense. You have an Ember Spirit, number one, if you do send him mid, and number two, Bryle is an insane Lena player, as we've seen so far. So I think it's a smart ban.
I think Bryle just seems like an insane player.
Yes.
That's kind of what I'm starting to see.
Yeah.
He's very good.
He's quite good. Brant sings his praises pretty often, I believe.
So they Wind and Rain bans out two supports that are just very good at lane sustain and pressuring, probably as Beastmaster combos. That I think if Beastmaster doesn't have a good support covering him, then his harass does end up feeling a little bit mediocre, especially when they've got heal offsets for Witch Doctors. So he's gonna have to grab something that'll work there. They're running out of options in that way. Sure, what the next best harass for is.
Ooh.
That would have kind of worked too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Gabe, that they were probably going to pick it for OG, and now Wind and Rain take it away from them.
They've also denied the Skywrath earlier, too. Now there isn't really that normal great hero that you'd bet.
Yep.
What's left for Jerax?
Shadow Demon.
He played
a little bit.
He played Earth Spirit earlier in the tournament once, but I don't think that works necessarily in this situation.
I don't like it against PL that much.
You could take Lesh, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a flex pick, you mean? So you have it against PL too?
Yeah.
Because support Lesh doesn't really count. But it's good as a core.
And it'd be a decent matchup with Beastmaster and lane, I think.
I don't think Thompson likes Lesh very much.
I think we've only seen him on like 3 or 4 heroes this tournament. 3.
We've seen him on all his trademark. We've seen him on Windrunner, Pugna, Monkey King, and
Invoker,
Zeus, Invoker, and
okay.
Ember.
All right, that was
the 6.
Cut on Monkey King. All the games I watched.
That was one Monkey King.
Yeah, it was that hour-long game against King when he played in the group stages. That he actually got a Rapier in that game.
Oh. Go watch the replay.
That was the hardest counterpicked OG got in the whole groups. They opened up Skywrath Ember and got counterpicked by Nyx first phase.
So yeah, Thompson, that Wind Ranger game was really good against the Huskar. Obviously, it's not available here. There's still a lot of different choices for him. That's one of the most interesting things. Is he going to be on the Ember Spirit again, or is it more than likely going to be something else? I'm really curious to see what Thompson plays this game.
I think they could go Quaswex and Invoker too if they wanted. Purges off the win run now, is right.
Yep. It's not terrible against PL if you can actually land EMP on him, drain his mana all the way. It's really bad because then you can't doppelgang more. But they go for the Phoenix. This is a little bit of them picking up meta from the tournament so far, but I mean, it is an OG classic.
Well, Wind and Rain did ban it first game against them in the groups. They were first phase banning it, but I consider PL a pretty good matchup. He likes playing against Phoenix, in my opinion. He can Phantom Rush the Egg, he can Doppelganger off the Spirits. He has decent health regen in lane against Harass.
I guess I disagree I mean, all those things are true, but if it's against... If Phoenix has frontliners like Ember and Beast running in and disabling, and you've got a Sunray to back it up, I feel like that's where things get hard.
It goes both ways under specific conditions, yes. Then it can be good against PL. They have the right heroes to make Phoenix good against PL. I agree with that 100%.
Well, I mean, go back to that first game they played today with against the Phoenix with the PL with Ana. Obviously, that's a different situation, you know, but the Phoenix got killed by Ana numerous times in that game when he was Supernova.
Yeah.
Again, it's a different situation, but you know, it's something OG know about at the very least.
If you have a way of controlling PL and holding him in place, Phoenix has multiple ways of killing off the illusions, which is nice. As a support, it's something that's pretty rare that your support can kill off PL's army, but Phoenix has 4 skills that all deal AoE magic damage. Definitely does work if he gets to cast. I think the job now for Wind and Rain is to counter this Phoenix and Ember with one pick if they can. Nyx Assassin comes to mind as an interesting solution here.
I was thinking they need vision too, so Nyx fit that boat as well. Because right now, the Beastmaster is just going to be able to set up for things. I feel like they need to be able to find.
But then they're playing core next probably, because unless they put Wind Ranger mid.
And then they'd also have a Nyx in a dual lane, which is also not very good.
It's so-so. I think Nyx in a dual lane, if it's against Phoenix, is actually okay.
Yeah, that's true. That offsets a Phoenix pretty bad laning.
OG's turn to pick.
Oh.
All right.
Interesting.
Against Ember, I'm into it. Even against Phoenix, having the Doom is pretty nice. Not as good of a laner as he once was when he got nerfed pretty recently.
I actually think this is a good matchup for Phoenix, though.
There it is.
Pops on Monkey King. So, Phoenix is one of the better heroes against Doom, because you don't really want to Doom Phoenix, and a lot of the times you actually can't reach him anyway. And Sunray eats Doom alive. He has so much max health.
And it'll heal whoever gets doomed.
It'll heal whoever gets doomed, and the Fire Spirits on Doom is also annoying because he has bad base attack time, so you actually don't hit anything when you're hit by Fire Spirit.
And he doesn't even need to attack a lot, he just wants to attack once every 4 seconds, but if every attack takes him a second and a half to hit...
If every attack takes 4 seconds. Yep. I don't like this Doom pick. I think this is the first pick of the draft that I wasn't really too happy with. I'm not too big of a fan. We'll see how it ends out.
I definitely agree it matches up poorly in team fights later, but in laning-wise, I think Doom is solid here. Because it will be a hero that can pressure the enemy heroes.
The big thing I'm worried about in this game is I feel like Wind and Rain are going to have trouble starting fights because they don't have a good way to find vision of the opponent. Yeah. Meanwhile, on the other side, OG are going to be able to dodge really well. And I feel like maybe giving this Beastmaster through without taking the Night Stalker first phase is going to come back to bite him. Again, maybe you lose that PL, but you could run other things potentially on Ritsu that we've seen him do really well on. So that's a little bit where I feel like maybe it could be tough. And already I feel like OG's draft a little bit.
I think OG need to ban Huskar. I think it's a really good Huskar game. There's 3 melee cores in the enemy team that don't want to lane against him. Phoenix doesn't deal that much damage. Nothing Phoenix has is pure.
Rest in peace.
It could definitely be a possible pick here. Because I was looking at OG's picks and I'm seeing this, oh, they pick Monkey King because they want to lane him against Doom, but the problem is then you're leaving an Ember open mid with a counter pick. The last pick of the draft goes to Wind and Rain, so they will... Oh, that just made it even, I think. I think they're going to pick Huskar. I don't know.
They've run it.
Christine?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tree is going to be... That's basically the remainder here that they're going to try to use to bully, because most of the lane supports are gone. The Warlock being banned phase 5, so...
Yep.
I mean, he does a lot of damage. There's low armor heroes. Witch Doctor is probably going to be abused there, but I don't think Winter... Almost nobody picks Tree right now.
What other Braille hero? I don't know if Braille plays Huskar. I think he does, but let's say he doesn't. What other hero can he pick into 3 melee cores?
I mean, Ritsu played it last time when he played it.
True,
he played it mid.
True. He could,
so
maybe Braille could play PL.
It's an Overgrowth, arguably really good against Huskar, though. You could, like, break Invis, root him. Overgrowth again after he ulties.
It's kind of annoying to deal with.
Well, alright.
You called the crap out of that one, that's for sure.
Yes, you sure did.
That salvages things a little bit.
It helps it for me, for sure.
You don't need to find your enemies if you're just beating on towers, so I kind of like that in that regard.
Can they beat him in lane, though? Maybe, like, they'd have to dual mid or something, but that I don't think with the...
Which hero do you want to get screwed, OG? Take your pick!
Last time we saw this, it was Huskar versus Fur, maybe? No, it was Storm, I remember seeing.
How is Huskar versus Monkey
We saw Huskar
King?
versus Troll. Troll lost. We've seen Huskar versus Ember. Completely unplayable. Like, there's no way they put that lane. That is actually just suicide.
Doesn't Monkey King do okay against him? Like, early levels, you're not going to be able to zone him out because you take a ton of damage from burning spears, right?
He's just going to stay away from you. He's not going to let you hit 4 times. Even if he does, like, Monkey King still has 0 armor and he'd be taking... Like, it's only good maybe when Huskar has level 1 burning spears, but anytime after that, it's just dangerous.
I feel like Monkey King gets trashed, but I'm not completely sure. So I'll give it the benefit of that. They might be putting that lane anyway. Because if somebody in this team gets sacrificed, it's probably Thompson and not Ana.
Yeah.
Ember is more important.
Look at those odds. What? Oh,
Wow.
I don't think it's nearly that bad.
With the Huskar pick, yeah, I think it's a lot better than that.
This is 5 minutes back, so there's probably no Huskar pick yet. So
True, that's true.
That's
Very
true.
This is like, the first 3 picks, this looks normal, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, I'm with you. I think they would want to sack Thompson instead of... Every game Anna's had so far, I'm like, pretty much every hero, he's had a great start, or he's had a decent enough start that he recovers and does well. into the mid to late game.
It's like Liquid with Miracle. They kind of set him up for success and give him the best conditions to play under, and he, as long as he keeps delivering like this, there's no reason to not give him the best conditions.
Right.
So I think it's we're slightly in agreement at least that the Huskar pick was strong, and I guess the reason it happened was because of the shifting up of these carry picks in the first phase. But Winning Rain got a hero that's fairly uncountered as with a PL, whereas on the other side, Ember Spirit does have much more limitations. And then they tried to deal with the Doom pick by picking a Monkey King, and then they just set themselves up for this.
Yeah,
this
I think if
Huskar
they would have
snap.
banned Huskar, this would have looked a lot more interesting. Like, I think Wind and Rain, for me, is favored in this draft. I don't know if they're favored enough to be clear favorites in the game, but I would actually pick them to win this game. The only problem I have is their Doom. Apart from that, it looks really solid for me. But once again, if the Ember can't go in and you have to put the Monkey King there, then suddenly Doom's lane frees up. He's going to be laning against an Ember then.
The Huskar does feel a little bit by himself, though, in big team fights. Like, they don't have any saves. So
They do not.
it feels like between Beastmaster Roar and Ember Spirit's Searing Chain and Phoenix Egg and Monkey King ulti and stun and Treant Overgrowth, they have so many good teamfight things that, like, it feels like if they don't get a crucial hero doomed out of position that and the teamfight goes semi-even other than that, then OG is just going to stomp the
But
fights.
there is a Witch Doctor heal.
The Witch Doctor
Yeah.
heal.
You're right. That could
Witch
change
Doctor heal and Inner
everything.
Vitality is actually no joke. It heals a lot.
Inner Vitality seems like really good
One
right
thing
now.
OG doesn't really have is actually significant burst. Like, they're not going to kill this Huskar in a snap of fingers, you know? They need to build up Jingu stacks and then get a Boundless Strike is maybe what can be considered the burst, but Phoenix doesn't kill him that fast. What is it they have? Ember doesn't burst him really. Not that fast. At least later in the game, doesn't do too well. Treant tickles him.
I mean, if they get a fast Solar Crest on Beastmaster, they can certainly deal with
Beast,
one good
Beast is
thing.
actually decent, that is
Yeah.
true. Beast with the right items. Silver Edge, perhaps?
I don't even think they need it to kill him. Like, because if you get a Solar Crest, you're reducing his evasion, you're lowering his armor a bunch, that's going to offset whatever armor the Huskar has. And then if you just hit him with, like, Monkey King and, like, and they're going to have Treant Overgrowth, like, it just feels like there's too many teamfight things for, like, Ritsu's going to have a really good laning stage, and maybe he can catapult that into a mid game, but I just don't feel like he's going to be able to fight very well.
I have not seen the Monkey King Huskar matchup, but I think if Thompson, we've seen Thompson win matchups that he isn't supposed to before. If they come out even, then I think that OG win it, and I think he might. So
Surely Thompson has played Monkey King against every single pub mid hero
Yeah.
ever.
Probably true.
Multiple
and he
times. has played
understands
it
that matchup
so
probably better
many
than
times.
others.
He's got a level 16 Monkey King.
Yeah,
Ain't
so
bad.
pretty good stuff.
He is very good on this hero, so even if he has a hard laning stage, he should know how to come. We'll see how it goes.
Yep. That,
Into the game we go.
So that'll do it for us. We'll send it over to these guys right here. Purge and Sin. Take it away, boys.
get ready for the best play-by-play casting you guys have ever heard in the history of casting. I don't know who's going to do it. It might be me. It might be Sind. But we know that's why you guys are here. You knew this was happening, right?
Whoever is on the mic is going to roll with the action. So, yep, this is going to be really interesting. Still curious to see how OG lanes. It looks like they will be indeed putting their Monkey King mid and Beastmaster in the off lane. And be playing an Ember Treant safe lane. So, there is actually possibility here for 3 Radiant lane wins. They can win the Doom plus Windranger top against Ember +1, and they can win this Witch Doctor PL bottom against Beastmaster plus Phoenix. It is possible. This can be a full-on lane sweep from the Radiant. For the first time against OG, I feel like the enemy team can actually beat them in lanes across the board. So that for me is really interesting. If they'll do it,
Yeah.
that's another story.
Kind of curious how the tree's going to play out here. I assume he's going to go like Leech Seed and they'll do a lot of trading hits, but they definitely have, they're going to have issues dealing with Wind Ranger. I guess they'll have to disable her during Wind Run. It's the only way. Follow up with a chase, but it's actually going to be 3 bounties for OG. Thought they won the lane. So
GG.
Derek's picking up Fire Spirit's level 1, so that's how he's going to test his lane a little bit. Topson let a melee creep through. Maybe he did this on purpose. Find out.
It could be on purpose. The one thing Monkey King really wants in this lane is to be on his own hill.
Yeah.
Huskar on his hill is dangerous and hard to deal with. I am still expecting Ritsu to completely trash this mid lane. So it's one to keep an eye on here. Thompson is currently
Out of region.
out of region. He is sending out a flask probably.
And an extra tango. He knows what's at stake here. He just needs to get enough last hits in the meantime that he stays slightly competitive and he'll offset that harass with the more regen.
The problem I see is that when Huskar reaches level 3, Monkey King is going to need to pay 1 salve per CS, and that is not economically viable. He might actually be dead here. Close. One more spear would have done it.
Yeah,
It's tricky here, because one thing Huskar does extremely well in lane
that was
is...
sick clip.
That was so close. Stun. Huskar obviously trades with melee heroes without drawing creep aggro. It's only Huskar and Viper and Silencer that can do this in lane with the orb.
Topson messed up. He used his salve while he was taking Burning Spears damage. Lane's over. He's bringing out another one now, but oh my god. Sorry for interrupting, but that damn dude. He had like 1 Burning Spear left. He
That's...
made a mistake.
That sucks. He's got 4 CS. It's not all that bad. Now he's got 5. But he will be spending his gold on even just staying in lane. And in this top lane, for Evan Milan, these are 2 fairly good heroes to face up into with Infernal Blade. You can break the Flame Guard, and against the Treant, you can break through Living Armor. So
I don't think we're going to see Living Armor for a couple minutes. Man, Milan just has such an easy game though. He just stands there and auto-attacks these guys constantly. Like, they had to use Leech Seed on the creep wave just for a heal here.
Oh, he got 4 stacks. Bro. That's the one thing you can't have happen, is that exact thing. Is the only way Monkey King is remotely competitive in this lane is by getting 4 stacks on to Ritsu. He took a chance, he thought he could outrange him, but Topson knows the limitations of this hero very well. So that forced a flask out of Ritsu as well. Not all that bad for Topson so far.
And all of his Inner Vitality mana too, so now the next fight that happens, he's got to be a bit more careful.
He had a mango flying out, I think,
He
on
does,
the courier.
Okay.
So Topson got the rune.
Huskar's got boots now too, so even more right clicks if he does get a trade advantage. Orb of Venom actually coming for Monkey.
Oh, No Tail doesn't have his first skill, he's dead. No Nature's Skies, he went 0-1-1 build.
He did get armor. Okay, interesting.
He might have picked it up to as a way of trying to help Topson in lane, but it doesn't help.
He's going for the kill mid.
Burning Spears are...
So he's offset basically the boots of speed by getting this Orb of Venom. Kind of an interesting way to take a gold disadvantage and equalize it a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's got
Ritsu again. If he's just a little more patient and just lets these stacks run out, this is very different. He's given Topson a couple of opportunities. Another kill on No Tail though. This laning stage is looking super hot for the Radiant.
Oh, he's going to break the salve on Ana. Oh, Flight of Fist, that was sick. I mean, the Living Armor is one way to offset things a little bit, but I assumed he would get it because of Burning Spears and things like that, just crushing through it. But so far, it's been okay. A little bit, other than the 2 deaths.
A little bit okay.
How's the offlane been? Seb is level 3. Jarek's is level 3 too, and he's up to 19 last hits. So.
This bottom lane is going totally fine for the Dire. That's the one lane they're doing very well in. The other 2 lanes, not so much. Ember has 6 CS minute 4. That is a dump string. This top lane is super one-sided. Once again, impressed with how well Topson has managed to do this. I think it's a bit of a mistake, plus great play from Topson at the same time. The mistake out of Ritsu to give him those Jingo stacks that he got. But still a relatively solid lane win for the Radiant on mid and top. Now, Jerax is a boss and kills Kitrak.
Great kill.
Nice
Kills trying to get the return. Yeah, he's going to catch it.
Yeah,
that should be a kill.
Trade-off.
Good pickup.
Pretty even.
Did you notice the creep that Doom had? He picked the pack leaders. He found the pack leader's aura. So this whole time, Wind Rangers had a 30% damage bonus in this lane against 2 melee heroes who can't return trade well.
Yeah.
So it's just an even bigger advantage.
That is really strong. No Tail's dead again. I think they're killing him for full HP.
Living Armor did not last very long
here. He's okay.
He's gonna live. He had 2 salves in his inventory, by the way, so that's barely a scratch.
A 200 gold scratch, though.
I think it's actually kind of worth it. I mean, Wind Ranger doesn't have any extra regen. They are going to grab both bounty runes top, most likely. But actually, yeah, this looks like it's going to be 4 bounties for the Radiant team. That's a big advantage.
They're almost 3k gold ahead minute 5. And now, this mid lane, so even though Topson did well, it's still Huskar sitting on 30 and 10 against Huskar Monkeys way less. They're trying to counter him. They're not going to reach. He's going to have to Boundless to get the proc here. And he's dead.
Nice shackle there.
And now this guy's dead.
Man, they definitely overly forced that one. He thought that the Huskar would walk forward, but he juked back at the same time, and they still went for the kill. I thought that they would just play it safe and back, but overforced it. Doom in trouble now. There's a living A Leech Seed that is, slowing things down, dealing damage, but they just don't have enough damage, period. That's a Phase Boots Bracer Wand Doom at 5 minutes here.
He is super bad. What's the CS in mid again now? 34 for 12 against 16 and 1. And this was keeping in mind that Monkey King got Jingu twice. That could have been avoided. I think this could have been even more of a stomp. So fair to say that this is a very Husker favorite lane. Nice shackle.
He will have 1 nuke if he gets another hit on Jingu. He could also stun to get Jingu and then go for the right clicks for a lifesteal. No mana for... Oh, he's just
Double
dead.
damage.
And now these rotations are just simply working out. They have better support heroes for rotating.
Yeah, this is not looking good for OG. I was favoring Wind and Rain's draft and laning and said they could win all 3 lanes, and they've kind of managed to, actually. The bottom lane is a minor win. The other 2 are absolute beatdowns. This is a recipe for a 20-minute game right now.
Yeah.
Like, this kind of lead is almost insurmountable if it keeps going at this rate. So OG have to pull one out of the hat here. I'm not sure what magic tricks they really have with their picks, though. Like, the only heroes that are going to make moves are Beastmaster and Ember, and that means it's only Beastmaster, because Ember doesn't have anything. Tricky situation for them.
It's not 6 yet either on Beastmaster. Spending some time jungling, just a little bit safer when it's Phoenix. Gotta make space. But Phoenix versus Witch Doctor fight here. Maybe could have gotten that, but, you know, if Huskar rotates the dead Phoenix, safer to do this. Go rotating top now, no dive, but they can try to engage, going off Rev.
Oh,
the
that's
crit.
smack, dude. He hit him for 300. Treant has very little armor. Oh, is this going to be a trade here? Jarex with some good fire spirits will be able to pick off Milan. Maybe not. There was a fairy fire.
Okay, just enough damage.
And in the meantime, Ritsu kills Thompson again.
Sunray, a little bit of a slowdown here, but
As Doom. Use it.
it's only got 1 slight, so it's all over. If he's 6 there, maybe that's a kill, but good track rotating into the top lane. Maybe they'll try to get a kill.
Yeah.
He might Jarex,
He came mid first and helped kill Monkey King, and now, yep, you're right, he found Jarex. Jarex has to dive away.
Oh, this one. Still no new levels on Treant. I think that's the one here that's definitely lacking some impact here. A couple more levels, he could do a lot, but gonna be some time. Instead, they go mid with the Illusion Rune. Now pressuring the tower. Level 9 on Huskar here. Helm of Iron Will's up, so his survivability against Monkey is certainly a lot better. King is not farmed here. Got a whole boots of speed, slippers of agility.
This is going to be OG's play. They have to try to kill mid, but Seb is only going to find Kitrek on this rotation. He will have to use the Roar for this. He is going to get a kill, but probably not very satisfied with this move, especially not if he ends up trading. Windrunner is connecting. Just a mini shackle might be enough. Not going to reach, so a waste of TP.
Be happy with that, I think. He did it well. A couple free auto attacks, axes into ulti to maximize the damage, and
Yep.
at least that's going to make Wind Ranger have to stick around mid out of safety, but I guess it's going to work. Oh, he tries to jump on the tree, doesn't work out. This looks like he's going to fall. Can't even respond here. Went to jump, but the animation gets interrupted now. Yeah, dead Jarex. Raindrop blocks the first one. Ooh, didn't take much more. Man, OG sitting 5k behind now. Not looking great. Level 2 living armor on the tree.
You gotta find a way of activating these supports when one of them gets level 6. Like, I think both of them might end up needing the tome. So you gotta pick which one you think is more important. Is it the control of Treant or the damage of Phoenix? I would be more in favor of giving it to Phoenix, probably. And just really trying to look for some sort of skirmish that you're favored in. Ana has to join the play, most likely. He doesn't have much in the way of net worth, but at least his hero has just good spells to make plays and get something done. Because this status quo is not going to win you the game. You gotta make something drastic happen. It's 3 runes again for the Radiant. Last time it was 4. I guess that's an improvement. Dead Seb. Power shot. Try to cut the tree of Monkey King. Didn't read it. Didn't hit it.
Well, 1 of 8, but first of the first 2 bounty runes, at least. I guess I got the first 3 in the game.
Yes.
That offsets it a bit, right?
A little bit.
Only 6k behind now. Not all bad.
Only 6k.
Not all gonna be bad, surely. I was thinking maybe Tree would be better just because he feels more useless right now as level 4, but I guess thinking about it more, Phoenix does have a much bigger impact at 6 at least.
Oh, that's another benefit of Huskar we didn't talk about. He has really good attack speed, so he can kill the egg too.
Yeah.
It's actually even better of a pick this game than we already gave it credit for. That's like an added benefit. He will get the tome here, Jarex. So closing in on 6. They'll try to keep the towers alive with the living armor, and, well, they're not going to go for that kill. They'll try to get the Phoenix first, but Jarek's with a good dive. He's still going to die, getting brought down by a burning spear, and the doomed Beastmaster has to run away, and this should be the end of the mid tower. OG seems like can't hold.
Wind Ranger played that so well. Approach from the backline. Oh, he's going to try to get an axe kill. He does! Cuts Wind Ranger down from the high ground. They lose the tower, though.
Nice snipe.
But it looked so good, because
Oh, Monkey King. And now he's evacuated to another lane that he's also losing.
Yes. Anna taking
jump away.
another nuke here. But they were baiting the Huskar the whole time. Doom's in position in the back line, jumps in, gets the Doom off. That was a very cool play. 7k advantage now. They're trying to heal up the bot tower, keep it alive as long as possible, but it is out of armors. And there's a catapult here. This looks like another tower that's going to fall. Can slow things down with the fire spirits at least. It's not bad for the creep wave, but that catapult in the back line, a matter of time. Armor pulls through. I actually have just seen No-Tail doing nothing but pulling the last like 5 minutes. Actually, all he can do, pick up a couple levels. 6 is on Phoenix though. Gonna pop a smoke with Beastmaster. This is a really good gank attempt. I'm sure they're gonna want to grab somebody like Huskar if possible for free, but PL would not be bad either.
They can't kill Huskar without Roar Phoenix +1. That's the tricky part again as well about Huskar in this game. Is it's one thing he has a great laning stage, but you need really specific hero combinations to bring him down. Treant does nothing. Phoenix does a bit. Beastmaster is pretty good. Monkey King is definitely good if he is stunned. But I think Beast Monkey +1 is actually the only way. I think Beast Phoenix Ember could fail the kill.
No-Tail's trying to slow this down, but Living Armor's on cooldown for 10. Lift's gone, that's a dead tower. Nobody's going to defend this one. No-Tail does pick up 5 at least, so he's finally got his Nature's Guise, but I think died instantly.
Nice shackle from Milan. Lined that up perfectly. They're trying to get the Boundless off, not happening. The Living Armor kept him alive for a little bit.
He's going to go for the Witch Doctor kill. It's going to be a little bit hard, kind of far away, but needs to land one more Fire Spit and it's a kill, but he's going to juke it.
He will TP out before he gets shackled.
A No-Tail sitting around can't actually help this game here. Standing here next to the creep wave, but just can't do anything. The sap experience, but I mean, I haven't seen anybody pick tree in a while. It's been at least like a month or so, but
Blankpool has run it in 2 or 3 of their drafts and actually won all the games.
okay.
But yeah, it's only been them. Apart from them, I haven't seen anyone. Not a single game in any region. I've seen a tree.
So do you think OG just wasn't thinking of the Huskar when they picked their heroes?
I don't think they were. I think Huskar was a way more obvious and better ban than Queen of Pain.
Quap definitely would have done strong things against the Monkey King, but if they get the Rory here, that would have been great. Ooh.
I think if they would have picked Quap, the Ember is still able to play that lane. It's not great,
Yeah.
but it's definitely playable compared to this Monkey King or this Huskar lane that is impossible. So then they could have had Monkey King against Doom, and they could have had Ember against the potential Quap, and that would have been decent.
Yeah, Huskar is definitely a hero that like he has the same lane pressure, but then when it gets a little ahead, it's just way different on trades, just because of Burning Spear stacking up so fast. It's like, yeah, mid game would have been less awful. And now he's kind of in this build where he's just doing Primal Spring. He knows he can't lane, so he just has to like nuke waves. That's his life now. What do you have?
Oh, Ritsu.
So that are you mad?
No, you wrote 7. Are you 7 mad? Like he doesn't even know who he's playing against. Oh, that's so funny.
You wrote that in the chat as well, the lobby chat.
Yeah, Seb is kind of the only hero on the Dire doing well.
And now it's harder because the hero they want to kill, Huskar's got an Aegis as well. And they could kill Forev maybe. I mean, there's opportunities where they can snag heroes, but they have no map control. They've only got 1 tower killed. Tree just hit 6, so now they finally got Overgrowth, but they haven't had any vision yet, really. They've got some dire wards in the enemy jungle, but they haven't even been able to get into this area on the map. Tower's still alive down there too, so. Ember does pick up a BOTs though, so that's a glimmer of hope. They can split push very well. Their opponents don't have super great lockdown outside of Doom and Shackle Shot and maybe a Glory Cask, so I guess they've got that. Ember does a lot of split pushing, tries to delay the game a bit. I mean, minimum, they can save towers for at least an extra 6 seconds with every living armor, so. Maybe that'll buy enough time.
Maybe. Big maybe from me.
Yes.
It's a big maybe from me, dawg. Oh! Close call there from No-Tail getting out with probably 2% health from that peel attempt.
And a pressure now bottom, but Milan's going to run up mid. Do not have Monkey King ult just yet, so no big team fight should be expected coming from G. How do you even recover as a Monkey King in this? I feel like I've hit this a couple times, and it just always feels bad.
I don't know. I don't know what he's supposed to do.
Going to jungle the enemy jungle, and it does get the tier 1 bottom, so the split pushing is going to be more effective, but tier 2 top, gone. And this is surely some high ground time here.
No-Tail with a pretty good position to try to go for a backstep, but again, the big question, where is the damage going to come from? Who will kill this Huskar twice? Maybe they can get him once in the roar, but what do they do after? Here comes Ritsu.
I'll just fire spirits, see if... Well, okay, does get hit with the first one, can't tell.
And Monkey King will TP back. Ember is still on the move. It looks like the Radiant will yield for now. Oh, No-Tail pulling the wave. Good stuff from him.
Use his body to draw aggro.
Yep. Now he's built a double wave for them, though. So this push is going to be even more scary when it does come in.
Buy some time.
He's buying time for sure. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you need to do at this point. I don't see the fight really being possible, so you need to just look to delay as much as you can.
They're thinking about poking at least. It does help that they have the Hawks. They can see their opponents moving through the jungle here. Maybe they can get a free snipe on Huskar. That would be huge.
That would be really, really big.
They were poking it, but Radiant Vision was spotting things out. Almost a Doom on Seb, but cancels it. Alright, here comes the high ground. Ritsu's going to be
they're going to glyph the wave too. They will have to deal with this wave within their base, and that is the tower gone. This aura from Doom is making Huskar a monster. Yeah. It's actually so good. The extra damage.
Finish too.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 16 minutes of racks here. They want to go in, but there's just not many opportunities. They get Tree in the back line.
He has buyback. Monkey King is posing up behind. He might kill the courier. Nope, they saw him.
Even have ult yet. He still doesn't have his ultimate. Went for another point of Primal Spring. I mean, it's not like him standing in his ult is going to do anything. It's going to give him 8 armor. Huskar does magic damage. He would just die. So they just have to take the Rax loss with their lane loss here. The Huskar pick really just messed up everything for him.
This hero is so... It's so extreme. Huskar. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's been like this for quite a while, but people needed to discover the idea of how this laning works. Now that mid is one-on-one, and you put these matchups, it's way more difficult to solve it. Nice kills.
Those are dying. They've got a roar too. Oh, what an egg placement on the high ground. They've got a ward here. They're going to hit it. It's going to get kind of close. It does go down. They didn't have that ward there. It would have procced, but on the back line, they do kill the Wind Ranger, but that's 2 supports in exchange for an egg.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
I think Kitrak bought back there on the Witch Doctor, right? He's heading back toward mid, so...
Anna trying to escape here, bot room, but he looks dead. 5 seconds for a Remnant. He's chased down. Diffusel's up. All you can do is chat him. Oh, he gets another one, but no mana. Tried to use it with the wand. Look out. 40 seconds for Anna till he falls. He can buy back if needed. Seb's in position on the mid lane as well. Gotta wait for this Aegis to fall, and then they gotta pick off Huskar in that moment. That's like their only salvation here. Tough game here for OG.
Yeah, this looks like it is going to be the ending push unless OG do something magically. They're going to put Aurora onto Doom. Didn't really use it for anything though. Mad. It's just going to get hunted instead. And this Aurora not going onto the Huskar means that he has these 2 lives very safely in his pocket. He's going to go for the tower with living armor. It stays alive for another whopping 6 seconds. Actually, they will back off for a little bit, but here comes the next wave.
There's no more new levels on Tree. Still level 6 here. Jack's level 7, no egg for 30 seconds. They did buy some time, but...
He just down.
5 heroes up at least. Damage him. Doom on Anna though, and then Death Ward's going to do a lot of damage to a great stun from Monkey King. Wukong's command doing damage. Ritsu's got to be careful here. If he gets disabled again, he's caught in the middle, but he's going to get out. Not enough damage to be done.
They will get the Wind Ranger kill at least on Milan, but actually Brawl committing in, forcing out the Overgrowth. They will kill off Seb with the Burning Spears and another one onto the Ember. Anna dead for a full minute, no buyback. He already spent it. This is definitely 2 lanes, if not the game. OG have pretty much nothing left in the tank here. They have a Supernova to play around with, but that's not going to deal any damage to the Huskar.
Solar Crest up on Huskar now. Just heaps of evasion here.
2 full
36%.
lanes.
He wants one more kill. There's the disarm. He knows he won't die.
I forced the roar again. Why not? Do you know, this is the classic 2 full lanes of Rax before you take bottom tier 1. That's,
Yes,
you know,
that
this is a
very
Huskar
abnormal.
game. This is Huskar. That's what happens with Huskar sometimes.
It's good he focused on that. The other 2 lanes are just a lot harder to defend from the Dire team. Makes a lot of sense. Because all you need is like 1 lost fight or 1 little mistake on Huskar and you lose the game. That's what happened last time when Rain played the hero. They got this huge advantage, but then some small errors in their high ground pushes got the enemy team back in the game. But not this one. Doing everything they need. They're going to initiate on the bot lane though, TPing in onto the Hawk. Anna wants to get the follow-up, but he loses his Flame Guard almost immediately.
He's purged up. Does he have any remnants?
Ooh,
Doesn't look
teaming
like
close
it.
to
The
the egg.
Supernova's going to die as well to Huskar. No Tail's dead. Anna is kiting his way out of this one for now, but actually
Second
still a
one,
long time on another remnant. Yeah, he's going to be super dead. So this support Wind Ranger
He's
even going to
canceling.
dance a little bit.
Canceling for the taunt. Another 2 seconds in the well if you want to look at it that way. And Matt has to go back to deal with the push. This 2 creep waves, man, very strong. So taking engagement, they get a Witch Doctor. Further behind.
So unless some absolute miracle happens, this game is 100% over. And
Yeah.
you just got to think ahead for OG here. We said, what's going to happen when they lose their first game? I think this is one of those easier losses to deal with, because you can just look at this game and be like, okay, we got cheesed. Like, there's not much else to it than that. They picked 3 melee cores, they left in Huskar as an absolute last pick. It got picked, they didn't ban it, they made a mistake, and on to the next one. This is an easier loss to deal with than if it was like more complicated, or they misplayed some stuff or whatnot. I just think this game strategically is almost unwinnable with the pieces that they have.
Yeah, their safe lane was already super gimped right off the bat. And this just made it worse.
So actually, in hindsight, maybe they should have put the Ember mid to get crushed, so that at least Monkey King could win the safe lane. Because this way they lost both.
Yeah, because Ember with a couple levels can at least farm, but Monkey King with absolutely no lane control and just a few levels just feels so much worse. It doesn't help he went Jingu and stun, I guess.
I
Maybe.
think Ember lost top about as hard as he would have lost mid. And that says a lot, because this lane is an absolute dumpstring from Huskar, but since they ended up having no hero that could do anything, they're definitely going to regret that one. But
Surely Monkey King would lose the safe lane just as bad though, right?
no, he's good against Doom. I think he would actually win the lane. With Monkey Treant can win this lane.
I guess because he would just trade better with Chase.
If the Doom and Windrunner start going on the Monkey King, he can hit Doom twice and they have to yield. Because if he starts getting the stacks up and gets a boundless off, he's actually killing Doom. Doom is low armor. And, well,
Very hopeful teleport there.
yeah. Jarex went for it.
roar.
I'm hearing a
Defensive.
roar on Huskar. Beastmaster is dead.
DD Jug.
Not completely sure what OG are holding on to here. Oh, the dead bird.
Well, he finished his Echo Saber, I guess. This is like the only way they can win this. Keep them in the Wukong's command as long as possible. Maybe if they don't attack, maybe if he turns into a tree and they don't realize it's him. Maybe that's how they win this. Look, he's a healing salve. He's moving though. They may he just leveled up. The leveled up healing salve.
Oh,
They might realize.
distraction tactics.
Alright, this isn't bad. Huskar's relatively low here. Yeah, he's gonna go for it. He's gonna get doomed though, but as long as he stays in the center, he'll live very long, surely. Oh, Leech Seed, no armor, not able to keep him alive, and that's gonna be it. Everybody dying here, and GG is called. Man, that Huskar, man, when you predicted it, I just thought it just didn't feel as much impact to me in the draft, but if that would have came out of nowhere, it probably would have felt just like this game probably felt to OG. Just a punch in the gut, man.
It ruined their whole game. They actually had
Yeah.
no solution.